this is week 11. On Monday I had classes. I got back some essays that I had worked on for those classes. I realized that I was not really specific enough, but I did okay, so you know, like after classes I just came back, I did some editing, I worked on some homework. That's kind of like my go-to thing to do, I guess, if I'm not doing anything else, which is still really important and good because I want to get these videos out and homework needs to be done, so that's what I did. And I grabbed some dinner after that, which I don't remember what it was, but I bet it was good. And then later on that night I had the Roar acting workshop, which was really cool because it was you know, it went through like how to audition for like commercials or films and movies and stuff like that, which is a lot different than say if you were to go and audition for a play or a musical or something like that. So I thought that was really interesting. It was definitely a new look onto, you know, something that I like to do in the first place. Not so much the audition thing, but it was very interesting, very cool. And hey, if I ever end up auditioning for a commercial or a film or something like that, now I have that background knowledge of how to do that exactly, so that was really cool and exciting. Tuesday rolls around and it was the real 80s day for Radio Club, which was really fun. It was kind of just a thing that I decided to do for my particular radio show, but if you tuned in that day, you know that I just played a whole bunch of 80s music, which was so much fun, so exciting, and yeah, I had a lot of good music going on, and I want to like continue the theme. So now it's like every 2 weeks I want to have a special theme for the radio show, and yeah, I was really happy about that. And of course, if you want to hear all those songs and all the songs that I play just in general, I do have a Spotify playlist for that. I will add the link somewhere, either here, probably add it in the down bar as well. But yes, I have all the music that I ever play, and every time I have a new radio show going, I continuously update so that any music you hear on the radio, yeah, you can get that too and to listen to it, and it's super cool and awesome. And you should also go like my Facebook page for my radio show and tune in on Tuesday mornings because, you know, why not? I actually came back and took a nap. Usually like Tuesdays, it's like I have things to do, but I have like this nice in-between time between what I'm actually doing that day and radio, so I usually just kind of like sleep in between, which is nice because, you know, if you're going to get up early, you might as well earn back that sleep time. That's how I see it. I don't know, I like to sleep. What did I say? Like, it's cool. But anyway, later on that same day, I went to the author visit event that was hosted by the school, where for the common book that we had to read, well, not really had to, but like was heavily suggested to read, was it was Southland by Nina Revoyr. I actually got to interview her for my website at lockerstadler.com, and you could go or read that interview as well. But yeah, it was really cool to be able to interview her and then actually meet her at this and then hear her talk about, you know, the book and Los Angeles area and all of that. And yeah, it was super exciting and super cool. And she remembered me and then got to sign my copy of the book, which is a great book, so I highly recommend it. So yes, that was a fun, eventful Tuesday thing that I was looking forward to doing since I remember hearing about it back during June orientation. So and it's cool, and time just flew by because I feel like June orientation was literally yesterday. It wasn't, but it feels like it is. Later on that day, I went to go check the mail because I didn't know if I'd have enough time, and it was like right after the author event let out. So I went all the way to U-Haul and I went to go pick up my mail because I had an email that came in that said that there's a couple things waiting for me. So I went and I got the slips. They were technically like right closing, but I got it like the last couple seconds. They're like, okay, we'll help you out. I got a package in the mail, which was super exciting and awesome and totally cool because it was a lot more than I expected and I really wasn't sure what it was. So I went and I opened it up, and guys, you never believe this, literally I got a whole bunch of Cinnabon swag, which is super exciting because a little while beforehand I tweeted to the Cinnabon account to like, how do you get one of those cool free shirts for the sweet 30 years, because they had a 30th year anniversary recently, and they asked me for my mailing address and stuff like that in the DMs. So yeah, I slid into the DMs and I got a whole bunch of really cool Cinnabon swag, which is cool because like they had like a little note that was like, oh, share this along, so I am sharing with you. and also I got like two shirts for every size. But I wasn't expecting that. I was literally expecting like one shirt, but they gave me a whole bunch, so yay! I have cool Cinnabons shirts and they're super cute and wonderful, and I'm so excited because I personally like Cinnabon. They don't have Cinnabon in New York, which I think that they should, like they do, but not close to where I'm from, so moral of the story, I was super excited to get these, and they're so cute and so fun, and yeah. Also that day it rained, which was really weird because it was like windy, rainy, and cloudy, but just super gorgeous also, because it's like really rare if it rains here, and if it does, it's not like rain, so I was also really excited. So I would, and super pretty after it rained. I got a whole bunch of really cool pictures and video for that, but I also just kind of like took in the moment, which was really great as well. Came back, I was just kind of chilling, relaxing, getting things done, because you know, that's what you do, I guess. I didn't have anything else to do specifically, so I was just kind of working on stuff, and yeah, later on that night was improv, which was super duper fun and exciting, and you know, improv-ish, yeah. And also swing dancing, which was also really fun, and then I called it a night since it had been a long Wednesday. I had work, I had classes, and for some really weird, bizarre, unknown reason, it was seriously freezing. Like, I don't know, the weather said it was 60 degrees, and I know it's like, oh my gosh, 60 degrees. Sunny California. Okay, cool. That's not cold. And trust me, I know, I understand cold and snow and winter weather to the extent where you're just cold no matter how much you bundle. Like, I get that. That's a thing. And I'm not saying that 60 degrees in California is that level, but that particular day, it was seriously freezing. It was like that bone cold kind of, it's through the humidity or something, so you said 60, it actually felt like probably like 30s or low 40s, which is really bizarre for this area. So yeah, it was pretty cold. I just kind of like came back to the room, and I didn't have anything else to do, so I had made a little bit of hot chocolate. I put a marshmallow inside of that hot chocolate, which is funny because my bag of marshmallows are literally starting to clump up into one big marshmallow. Not sure why. I don't know if it's because of like the heat and the cold just constantly changing here, but yeah, it was good. I had my little winter go-to, and I watched the most recent episode of Scream Queens, which was super fun and exciting, and that was basically my Wednesday night. Now Thursday I had class. Later on that day, yeah, I only have one class on Thursday, that's right. Anyway, later on that day, my uncle came on over because he was in town for a business trip, actually like more in Burbank, but drove on over, so we decided to go to the Santa Monica on the pier Bubba Gumps, which is super good. He hadn't been there, I've been there, but I just really love it. They have really great shrimp and stuff, so it was fun, and it was like nice conversations and just being able to just say like how things are going, and it was really cool just to be able to be like, I'm here in California and I get to see you again, and it's cool. So that's what I did that day. Later on that night when I got back, I had swing dancing and improv again because that happens on Tuesdays and Thursdays, even though on Friday I had classes for my artistry media class that morning, which I only have on Fridays. It's super great class. We actually watched the pilot episode of Breaking Bad as well as The Sopranos, so that was fun and interesting since I hadn't seen either of those shows, and I love how every week it's like a different show that we watch, so that was definitely exciting and different and fun. I had lunch again, you know, my normal lunch place, and then I come back from my philosophy class, so it's kind of a walk, but it like I have enough time to get there. And on my way back, I realized, like I checked my email, and turns out I didn't have to go philosophy that day because it was canceled, and I was super happy because that meant it was early weekend and I didn't have to worry about going to another class until 4. So I decided, I have an hour of free time before like I had my actual free time, because it's like my weekend wasn't going to start until after that class, so I basically just got an extra hour of weekend, and I was like, what am I going to do with it? So I decided to go exploring a little bit. I went to the one area on campus which I haven't been to yet, which just so happens to be the gym. And if you know me, I'm not a big gym person. I'm not a super like gym athletic person of the sort. Kind of just not. So I did want to at least check out the pool and just kind of go on over and see what it was all about though. So I did that, and I The pool was closed, not that I had intentions of actually going that day, but anyway, I was just walking around. I'm like, I got some time. I'm gonna go cycling for a bit. So I did cycling, and I was listening to music and just relaxing and just having a good time, and I completely lost track of time. It was almost like a stress reliever because I was just listening to music on the little bike thingy, and I lost track of time, and I ended up realizing an hour later that I was still cycling and doing those kind of things, and I felt a little noodly afterwards, but nothing that bad. So I went on back to the room. For that night was also the Fall Harvest Fest, so I went to that, which was super fun because they had like live music, and a lot of the performers who were also performing were actually other musicians from the school who were super talented, so that was really fun to go and see. They had like a little bonfire where you made some s'mores, which was super fun because I haven't done that since the summer with my friends back home, so it reminded me of that, which was like a little sad, but it was like it was still a really fun experience. There was a Pinterest table, which is fun because there's a whole bunch of arts and crafts. I ended up just taking the leaf, and it's a really cute little leaf, so I decided to use the paint markers for that, and yeah, it was pretty fun. And I got to go around. There's a little petting zoo. I got to pet like chickens and goats and like just a whole bunch of cute things like that, and you know, there was like a hot chocolate, and they finally had hot apple cider. The HBO table set up, and they were giving away some stuff, so I got a cool HBO college bag. It's like fun little HBO tumbler cup, which is really fun because I wanted to, like, I don't know, I was thinking about actually using it. I'm like, I have plenty of cups that I actually normally use, so I put a little fake candle because we can't have real candles in the dorms inside, and I light that up, and then it lights up. It's like so cool. I'm amazed by this. I don't know. So I keep it on this side of the bed and have it like a nice little nightlight. So when I came back, my legs were just super sore, so I ended up taking ibuprofen and just putting the heating pad on my legs, which worked. It actually did. And then I just like worked on some homework, and I probably watched some YouTube or something, and I eventually just unplugged the heating pad and went to sleep. And the pain was gone after that, luckily, but it was definitely a painful experience. On Saturday, I slept in until 10:30, which is rare for me, but super exciting. It was also still pretty cold. I've been wearing cabin socks, which is wonderful because I love cabin socks. They are gorgeous, beautiful creatures. So that was actually a really good thing. But then I went and I did some editing. I grabbed some food for breakfast because, you know, food. I just worked on some homework, and then later on I had the movie night with myself. It was a quality movie night with myself, and I watched a good movie. So yeah, I had to watch one movie for class, and that was August Osage County, because we have to write an essay, and one of the movies that was on the list under family melodrama was that. So I watched that, and the other movie I watched Remember Me, which has Robert Pattinson and Emily. This is awkward. I should know this. Okay. Anyway, I never saw the movie or heard anything about it. It's like, ooh, this is like a fun romantic chick flick. So obviously I was like, alright, this is happening. And I was like, okay, cool. But the entire time I only thought it's literally Edward Cullen and Belle from Once Upon a Time. Like, I wasn't sure if I was going to ship that because it was kind of distracting at first, but after a while, it was just a really good movie. It wasn't the cheesy, typical chick flick. It had a lot of depth to it, and by the end, like, oh my gosh, that ending. If you see it, you know what I'm talking about. Sunday, I went to community table. It was really good, and then I went on over to the Den to meet up, which is like the cafe on campus. Director of the scene from my production class the week before, which was cool because she had some great input for the scene, and I was able to quickly edit that together, and yeah, I finished the scene that day. I got some laundry done, which is always a struggle, but it's less of a struggle each time, so that's good. I went with my friend to go to a yoga class, which I haven't done yet, but it was super peaceful. There was a lot of relaxing music. I came back, I grabbed some sushi because I was like superly craving sushi, and it was really good. It was a salmon roll, I think. I did a little bit of homework, but then I decided to take a quick shower and then watch that week's episode of Once Upon a Time, which was so good and so exciting, and yeah, then that's so that was week 11. I'm so happy that everything worked out the way it did. It was a pretty great week, and yeah, pretty much. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and of course, leave me a comment below telling me what you did this week or something that you're looking forward to doing next week. Thank you so much for joining me today, and of course, if you like what you see, there's a whole bunch of other videos that you can check back on, whether it's from my Livin series or from pretty much any other video I decide to post it. Of course, you want to keep updated because there's all new videos coming your way. So thank you for joining me today. Bye!